Welcome, guys. I'm grinding it out today. I'm exhausted. One thing that I'd like to point out that might be sort of a complaint or a criticism about some of this training, um, possibly to the untrained eye, is sort of the generalization of suggesting to you guys things like get a website made. Here's generally how I do it, or get into social media advertising by getting your pixels. Here's generally how I did it, but I don't provide specifics. Here's why. In the world of social media, and it seems like with everything nowadays, things change so quickly. The best thing that I can say for you to do is take my general advice, and when you have questions, instead of looking towards other answers that are third party that try to get specific, like YouTube, or even other people out there that offer training, the very best thing that I have found is the free resource that you have on the platforms themselves. For example, right here, under business.facebook.com, if you just click the question mark, there's an entire help article database that can help you with just about every and anything you need. And a perfect example of what I'm talking about is, well, let me set up the preface. You could get on YouTube and learn from anybody. But as I'm sure a lot of you know from trying to learn audio techniques on YouTube, it's free, but it's a huge mess to sift through. It's filled with opinions. It's filled with people who are maybe good at audio but not good at making tutorials. And what I mean by that is maybe they're great in their bedroom making tracks, but they're not a teacher. Conversely, you have people who will charge you money for training, basically like I am here, however more specific in what to do. Problem with that is the second that Facebook or anything, YouTube, TikTok, whatever, has even a minute change, you're going to be lost in the step-by-step details. That is why I keep it vague, because in the vagueness there is power. So what I mean by that is if I were to show you step-by-step on how to set up your pixel, in July of 2020, by next year, July of 2021, that tutorial, that article will likely be outdated because Facebook changes the way it looks. It becomes more efficient. It reroutes things. Menus, like over here, change. When you click on them, they look differently. So instead of doing all that and making you feel confused and losing you, the best thing to do is go straight to the horse's mouth. Facebook, help articles, right there, just click on that, and if you scroll to the bottom of that, and what'll probably end up happening is what I just got done talking about, where at some point Facebook may put these help articles somewhere over here, or at the bottom of the page, or under Business Manager, who knows. But the point is, at the very least, I can minimize the confusion by saying if you just go to business.facebook.com and look under their help section, look at this. Blueprint e-learning. Take free online courses to learn how to improve advertising. Facebook Ads Guide. Find creative specs and technical requirements for ad. Ads Manager updates. View feature releases, updates, and announcements. There's articles. You can check out all kinds of different stuff. Create a Facebook pixel in Business Manager. Create and install a Facebook pixel. Why pay somebody that may or may not be a good teacher when you can learn how to do this right from Facebook themselves, the very creators of their pixel? It just makes sense. Unlike a lot of other things on here, like learning to produce, which really is just as much an art as it is a science, Facebook here in their pixel really isn't too much of an art. It's very cut and dry, and if you just follow what Facebook has in an article like this, including, this is what I really love, active links. It's hard, I think, for third parties, whether it be a course or a YouTube video, to do things like this. Little cheat that I always do, let's say I was going to go ahead and follow this article even though it's not relevant to me because I've already created a Facebook pixel, go to Events Manager. Well, before you click on that, actually right-click on it and open that in a new tab. That way, where they want you to go just opened up right here, but you're still able to follow along with the directions right here. Okay, so anytime you're going to click on a link, right click, maybe, oh geez, well, here we go, we're having a lot of fun now. Go back, click on this, where were we at? Create a Facebook pixel in Business Manager. Let's just say I want to open this, create one, right click, open in a new tab. That way I don't lose my directions. So understand, guys, that in my vagueness actually is power for you, because you can more or less watch this advice and training and have it be relevant 6 months from now, 6 days from now, 6 years from now, and hopefully 10 years from now. I was almost going to stick with the 6 and say 60 years from now, but who knows where the heck we'll be in 60 years. So, point of all this is just that a lot of these websites, and even I found it through the last 10 years of studying social media marketing, when you're new, you tend to want to follow step by step. And then the second that training looks outdated because Facebook changed one or two things, you feel lost. So understand, what I'm trying to get you to understand is that there's no need to follow step by step in sort of a fearful way. Get in, dive in, take my broad strokes general advice, and get your hands dirty with it. When you combine what I'm suggesting, broad strokes, along with more attention to detail, things like the help articles here, you will set yourself up for success and also destroy the fear that a lot of people have in setting up ads. They're almost crippled by, well, if it's not step by step, or rather, your training was step by step, and then Facebook changed their interface, and now I don't know where to go or what to do. Well, with mine, you're setting up a pixel, you're creating a pixel, and then you're installing the code on your website or giving it to your web developer or paying somebody on Fiverr to install it for you. This is a way of minimizing fear and minimizing the troubleshooting of, well, I gave you a step-by-step tutorial, but since Facebook changed how it looks, now everybody feels lost. Now there's less of a reason to feel that way, and more of an encouragement to you guys to take your own destiny into your hands with a free resource, rather than directing you to a course from me that you could buy, or a course from somebody else, or free YouTube videos, which is really just the Wild West. You're getting all kinds of opinions and stuff there. You just stay on Facebook or stay on the platform. They want you to use their tools, so by understanding that, they're going to provide you with likely the very best training and most up-to-date information that's available, because they want your money. So the last thing they want to do is scare you away from advertising and confuse you on how to use it. They want to make it crystal clear, and they want to make it as easy as possible. And between the tutorials and the help articles that you will find on the platforms, between that, your web developer, and yourself, and your web developer is sort of a loose term for either Kayla or you putting that hat on, or going on Fiverr or Upwork, you're more than good. So just remember that, guys. A lot of people tend to forget that some of the best resources are actually right on the social media sites themselves. But once again, I caution you, and this is also another reason why I keep things broad strokes, big picture, rather than zooming in on details. You're a DJ and producer first. You're a social media marketing manager second. You're not here to learn social media marketing inside and out. There's companies that you can hire to do this if you don't want to learn, and to a less expensive degree and at least a little bit more of a hands-on degree. Between the help articles, you and your web manager, you can learn it that way. Or if you really feel you have the time, but be very careful with this, you can just learn it yourself between my training and the help articles. But do not let this cut into your time of production and DJing. If it starts to cut into that, I would be very careful, because you are on a very slippery slope. So, just a word of caution, a little bit of help, a little bit of a hot tip with that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.